Alright, so this next video clip deals with exercise number 8, exiting the unresponsive diver. And so this one is one where you need to be considerate of the size of your rescue student and who's going to play the role of the rescuer and the buddy. So it really helps to have a variety of lifting techniques kind of in your arsenal for this. We're going to be showing you a couple here, but there's many ways to bring someone out. Ultimately, the person needs to get out of the water. What you want to do, though, when you teach it in the rescue course is be mindful of people's backs and things like this. So don't create sort of an unnecessarily difficult situation. There's a lot of value that can be given by discussing methods of doing it, even if you're not able to perhaps do it hands-on. But you want to do some rescues. In fact, from the performance requirement point of view, they're going to have removing a diver, simulating a breathing unresponsive victim from the water, both with and without assistance. And then next you demonstrate how to remove a diver simulating a non-breathing unresponsive victim from the water, both with and without assistance. So this exercise is going to take some time. Again, take it step by step. A nice technique is to let people exit a person that's being the breathing unresponsive, and after they've mastered that, then turn it into a non-breathing unresponsive diver. And again, if they can do it, lift the person by themselves, great, or they're going to use assistance. So you do it a few different times with a few different techniques. So here's an example of one exit we're going to do. We're going to do a lifeguard exit with assistance. So in this case, my victim's going to be unresponsive but breathing. So my priority is to get them to the pool side. I'm going to find a bystander to help me out, and we'll get the person out and take it from there. So something like this. Michael, can you help me out? Yeah. So as I put his hands up, okay, just support them on the pool side, and then make sure that his head doesn't hit the side while I get out. Yeah. Thank you. Now we're going to lift him. Okay. We're going to lower him down twice, and then the third time we're going to lift. Don't use your back. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Twist him. Fix the head. Open airway. Please call 911. Okay, so for this next exit, this time it's going to be a lifeguard exit, but I'm going to be on my own, so I have no assistant. So it's a little bit harder. And because I'm working with rescue students, or ultimately are paying customers, I'm going to do a couple of things from a precaution point of view. Number one, I'm going to pay attention to what the surface is here. And because it's a little bit rough, I've added a nice pad. So when I pull the rescue victim out, or my students are working, I'm not going to cause any damage to their equipment. Secondly, because I'm on my own, when you do this lifeguard exit, even though the person is unresponsive, they're still breathing. So I'm going to show you a technique where I can bring them in, get their hands on the pool side, but maintain their airway by not dipping it into the water. And I do that by keeping the victim on their back until I'm ready to get out of the water. So everything looks a little bit like this. And now, as I'm going to turn him around, I need to cross my arms. First, gently bring him in. Make sure I get a bit of good grip here. And now dip without ruining the face. 2 and 3. And roll over. He's up okay. Open airway. Still breathing. Getting ready to call for help one way or the other.
We're going to have a look at a couple of different techniques here on exiting an unresponsive, non-breathing diver. The first is going to be exiting the diver with 2 people, 2 rescuers, and the second will be exiting this non-breathing, unresponsive diver by yourself. So for the first technique here, we're going to be exiting an unresponsive, non-breathing diver who I prepared earlier. So for this one here, I'm going to have a two rescuer exit the egress here. So we're going to carry this victim out. Remember, first, this is starting from exercise 7 where we've towed him to this point. So I still need to pack him with 2 rescue breaths before we exit him, which will give me somewhere in the neighborhood of approximately 30 seconds to get him out of the water and resume CPR. Right? So we'll go ahead and pack him with 2 breaths, and then Eric and I will exit Alan from the water. Eric, come in. Just underneath there. Good. Very nice. Good. All right. We're just going to be nice and careful in the step. First step. Right. Second step. Third step. Right. And fourth step. All right. Now slowly. Okay. Very nice. Watch his head there. Very nice. And open the airway. Eric, can you call 911 and get emergency O2 for me? Thank you very much. Just a couple of reminders for you all with these exercises. Make sure you reinforce to your students that their safety comes first. Furthermore, reinforce with your students and your staff that safety should be at the center point of all these exercises. Don't perform any techniques that are beyond your capability or that may injure you. For this option, we're going to exit an unresponsive, non-breathing diver with a single rescuer. So again, you want to make sure you pack them with 2 breaths beforehand, which will give you approximately 30 seconds to exit the diver before you resume CPR. Okay? So we'll pack him with 2, and then we're going to use the Fireman carry to exit Eric out of the water. Okay, and then for this one, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to where you're crossing your hands. All right, so essentially, we're going to reach across like this. Bring Eric's arms over the top of my shoulders like this, and you want to cinch them up nice and high on your back. Sometimes it helps to cross the arms over. You're going to hold on to the wrists, or if you can, the elbows, to get a nice firm grip and keep him up over the center of your back. And take your time. All right. I would open the airway and resume CPR. A couple closing remarks on this one here. One tip for all of you is to ensure you have your students really shift the weight of the victim in the water before you start to exit the diver. So take your time in the water to make sure you have the appropriate positioning to get them out safely. Don't wait until you start to exit to adjust. As you can see, it probably is not the easiest exit to do, so ensure that you really control the safety of this exercise as much as you possibly can, pairing victims of appropriate size with one another, and even having other students or yourself close by, other assistants ready to assist if needed, if there's any issues that might arise that could cause an unsafe situation. So make sure that you control these exits very, very well, and safety is always top of mind.